was the kids and all of that crazy crap. Yeah. This was just regular Nick on the block hanging out. He just wanted to be in the hood. Like, a lot of people that met us back then was on some, yo, you from Marcy? I want to go, because you couldn't go to Marcy back in the day.
Yeah.
If you didn't know somebody or go with somebody certified, what's no walking through Marcy? So a lot of people, they want to experience it now.
Well, y'all made it sound fun. Y'all did make Marcy sound like Cancun a little bit.
A little bit. A little bit for us it was, because we the guys, but anybody couldn't do that.
So your man used to ghostwrite for Nick Cannon?
Yeah, man.
So he get royalties off Gigolo? Like, what record was it?
I don't know. I don't know if it was those records, but it was like his demos to help him get a deal. Like, when he first was rapping, first doing this thing, like, yeah, Nick was in the studio with us and all of that,
so
man.
You thought
like,
Nick was nice?
I always thought he was talented.
I didn't say that. I said you thought he was nice.
Yo, I always thought he was talented. And then a couple times you get the guys, yo, that ain't Nick. Yo, he got a classic when my name was. Nah, that ain't Nick. I think that's the fear of every artist. Like, yo, they gonna rock with me, or somebody gonna be like, dang, Nick.
I mean, especially being around y'all, though, like, that's a different. Y'all are very different rappers than a Nick Cannon.
No, but it was rough. Like, growing up, like, just even being in the Rockefeller Camp, Baseline Studios, remember, we only had 2 rooms with 14 artists. So it's like, you couldn't be in there playing with bars. You had to get out. If you was laying something that wasn't rocking, it's time to go. We got 6 people waiting for that space.
Yeah. So, salute to Nick, though. We got love.
Yeah, definitely.
Not his rap. We got love. You speak about Baseline. You were the first artist to be called the heir to Jay-Z's throne. Like, Jay called you the heir to the throne. What's something you learned about pressure and expectation that took some time for you to understand?
It's not reality. Like, people will put limits and expectations on you that you don't have for yourself or even see. Like, when Jay said that, I was like, I'm the new improved what? Since when? Who told you? They didn't tell me that. So it was like, oh, word? So it's like, you gotta do your thing and write and try to better yourself, learn the game, perfect your role. But the dominoes don't always fall the way you hope. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I wanted to be the biggest, wanted to be this, but unfortunately, I grew up with the sun. And it's like, any fire I put out, he burned out. So it was nothing I could do. I just accept my spot, but he was capping.
Oh, you might have saw something new that you didn't see in yourself.
That's right. He definitely did. And to this day, like, Jay pushed me to do, I send him music. It's so weird because I got a new project coming out, right, on the 20th called Apartment 3D. It's probably like my 3rd album I recorded since my last studio album. The first 2 he done shut down. So when I started sending him records from this one, and he like, this is it, you doing your thing. I'm like, what changed? I'm still trying to figure out what changed, because now it's like, you rocking with all the joints. What happened? I think, it's just where you at in your life and what you talking about.
So you was Apartment 3D and they were Apartment
5.
You see, that's what I like. People always know you from the music with Jay, right? They're like, oh, that's Jay's protege with Jay. Y'all grew up together in the trenches.
But that's the thing. We grew up not together. People think that, like, they gotta remember, Jay is like the big brother, like the uncle. Like, I was the kid, like one of his nephews on the block. He didn't hang with me. He came and got me. Like, see me doing reckless stuff. He would, put me on the right track, correct me, give me game, but it wasn't no hanging out. It was like, all right, I see you, that's Jay, what up, fam? I see you. So the day when I seen him with Clark Kent, rest in peace, it was like, man, he always pulling up with the illest cars, the baddest joints, man. I gotta get on this boat. I gotta find out how to be a passenger on that boat. So I just shot my shot and it worked.
What was something he taught you during that era that fans wouldn't know, that we might hear on the Rock Solid podcast?
Man, everything you see, man, just the life I live, the man I am. Like, Jay taught me, I learned everything from him, Biggs, Dane, my manager, B-Hop. I just, it was a collective thing, because without them, who knows where I'd be in life. But one of the main things I I learned from Jay is stay on top of your business, man. Don't you got managers, lawyers, all of that, but nobody know what you want but you and what you gonna get with you. So stay on top of your business. That's why I just had a talk with him this morning because with the Rock Solid podcast, we had the Rock logo on the podcast, but of course, people wait till the last day to try to get you to handle business. So I'm like, yo, I can't put that pressure on Jay right now. He on tour with his wife, doing, I don't want to be talking business, but I did send a message, so we talked about it today, and he like, yo, bro, I don't just be licensing my logo and my likeness out to anybody. And I'm like, I've been in this game forever. What makes you think I own my shit? This ain't going to nobody else. I'm like, I learned from the best. Yeah. Nobody owns anything you do, and why would I give away anything I do?
Right. Yeah.
So it was just.
Do you think as an artist, right? Because I know you said you learned a lot from Jay business-wise, right? Do you think as an artist, if you would have signed to somebody else, you would have been a bigger artist?
Nah, I probably wouldn't be here. Because you get your one and done, your 2 albums, you're done. That's what made me. It's so weird. All right, that's what made me sign with Jay. I remember my manager B-High. He ain't gonna like that I'm telling this story. We had an offer from Capitol Records, right? They wanted to give me $350 with a $75,000 signing bonus. And I was like, nah, they want it. And he like, yo, you know what $75,000 could do for you? It'll change everything in your household. Like, these was Marshall struggling days. And I'm like, I feel you. But that $75,000 come from somebody I don't know. So the day my train slipped, they not going to invest back in the train to get me back on track. So I'd rather roll with Hov. And this before Jay. It wasn't a Rockefeller. He was still, this was Reasonable Doubt on priority, Jay. And he was like, yo, but what if, Rockefeller is a dream of Jay. What if it never manifests? And I'm like, and it'll never be no bleep. I'm cool with that, but my dice is with somebody that I know rather than roll on somebody I don't.
Was this after Reasonable Doubt, though?
This was during Reasonable Doubt. Because remember, Reasonable Doubt came out on priority. A lot of people think it came out on Def Jam, but it did.
I was literally going to say, people talk so much about your loyalty, and that story speaks to it, right? How has your loyalty had to change as y'all grew? Because you've known Jay-Z for so long. Like, it's been
it's weird seeing what I always saw in him. Because to me, he was always larger than life. Some kids grow up looking at sports players, movie stars. My next door neighbor was my inspiration. I go outside, he has the cars nobody had. I look at his neck, he wearing jewelry no one in the projects can afford. He's flying, traveling places. Remember, Jay got a picture in London in the BMW. It's like 1993. It's like 92. Like, nobody wasn't traveling like that back then. So, he was my inspiration to get money. So, to watch the world see him as the billionaire, he always been there. So, I don't think anything changed. Because the day I decided to be like, yo, I want to get money, I knew I want to get money like them, Tata and all. Oh my God.
It's funny even, not the Lawrence question, sort of, kind of, but you see people online saying things like, Bleak too loyal to Jay. Like, how is there something being too loyal?
I don't know.
Especially if it's reciprocated.
Yeah, like, how can you be too? I don't know no other way. I don't know no other person. Like, what I'm supposed to do, what they wanted me to do. I don't know who I was going to get a deal with. What artist? I'm going to go sign with another artist and be like, yo, I'm this cool now. That'll never happen. So, it's just like when Rockefeller died. That's why I didn't chase music, because it's like, what I'm going to do? I'm going to be G-Unit. I'm going to go be this guy over here. Never. If it ain't Rockefeller, it ain't nothing.
It's funny, right? You are one of the few artists from that era who seems like you never chased clout with things.
Oh, no.
Was that a conscious decision or just your character?
We always been lit. Like, since a kid, we always been lit. Like, growing up, man, in Brooklyn was, you gotta remember, Brooklyn is as big as the city. We bigger than Manhattan, if you think it's a borough. So, in Brooklyn, once you was known in the style, Crown Heights, Cognac, you didn't need nothing else. Like, so, this industry fame, a lot of these people, I feel like, become who they always wanted to be with rap fame. I've been who I was, I just got rap fame. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have to portray any type of, that's what I mean. We didn't portray. This guy has always been me. Like, anybody that know me know, yo, Bleak been the same guy since day one. Where you can look at a lot of these rappers and you can see, man, he acted. Once the act stopped, the career stopped. And that's how. So for me, I ain't chasing no clout. Clout is fake. It don't really, it's made up. It don't mean anything.
What was your first thoughts, like, when things were dissembling, right? Like, what's your first thought, go-to-wise, like, career-wise? Like, what do you, because now y'all there, y'all established, people know y'all, you've been who you've been.
Oh, I had no clue. That's why I give my wife all the credit. Because she really put the pieces together and helped me see the vision again. Because to me, it was over. I didn't know what to do, what direction to go, and when I met her, she was just like, this is what we need to do. Boom, 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 boom. Then we put it together. Here we go.
That's interesting because it's not like you didn't have paper.
Yeah.
And I had peoples, but it's still like when you do something and that's all you know. Like, remember, I never had a job. Like, never had to fill out a resume. I got a deal. I was 15 years old. Like, I never had to work ever. My work was rap. So when it was over, it was like, what I'm gonna do? I don't do construction. I don't sweep. I never sweat. Like, so it was like, what I'm gonna do? And then my wife was like, you bugging. Your homie owned 90 businesses. Go figure out a way in one. And that's how Deuce came apart. It's like, okay, I'm the liquor man now. I sell drugs again.
Listen, I want to ask you, like, if you could go back to one session from the early rock days, not to change it, but just to relive it, what would it be and why?
I'm gonna tell you another story people don't know. On a Clue tape, I remember it was Jay-Z and Sauce Money. My first time meeting Clue, they invited us to the studio. Jay and Sauce Money, they murdered a verse. Now, mind you, I'm 15 years old, sitting there like, y'all want me to rhyme after these two guys? I don't think it's gonna happen. And Clue like, yo, go ahead. So Jay like, yo, you gonna give up an opportunity? You got a shot right now. You better write, son. And I'm looking at him like, I ain't got it. After what y'all said, I don't think there's nothing I can say. So I missed that opportunity. And when that tape came out, it was like one of the biggest freestyles in Marcy. Everybody playing and going crazy through Brooklyn. And I'm like, I was right there. I could have been a part of it. So if anything, it would be that. And on the J.R. Kelly album, Best of Both Worlds, if you listen to it, he was like, one of the songs, I think it was Somebody Girl Is at This Party song. If you listen to the beginning, he sang my name, M, extra, money, let's go. And I never wrote my verse.
Why?
Hey, a little scared ass, man.
No, we had a thing in Rockefeller. It wasn't scared. It's called bullshit with balls. When you think you too lit, you out here doing too much that you ain't got time for the balls. He wasn't. His Clue tape was shook. The R. Kelly was, I was lit. I'm outside. The Dotties on me, I'm lit. That time being in the studio. That's how I got clipped on Volume 1 too. Like thinking I was too lit. And they left me. And on the tour with Bad Boy, Biggie and them, I missed the whole tour.
Whoa, in my lifetime, boy? What you was doing?
I was lit in Brooklyn. I just bought a truck from Spain. I got TVs, 26s on it. I'm 16 years old. I'm at every high school in Brooklyn blasting music. That's what I'm doing. I thought I made it. I didn't know it was the rest of this. I just thought being known. Alright, I'm lit. This is it.
And then got left off. Bad news.
And that's the time Jay came to the crib and gave me a tour. I spoke about this on Drink Champs when he was like, yo, dog, I'm rich. I'm trying to make you, like, put your family on. Like, I don't need you. You need me. And that was the last time I missed anything. Everybody be asking me, man, this is actually working.
Bro, you get a month for free.
It's free. You can get 1 month for free. So you got nothing to lose, you got everything to gain.
Try it.
I was actually, because I watched Drink Champs and I saw that, but you also have crazy amounts of Jay-Z features. It's like 24, 25 of them. How many?
I think we got about 30.
30? Yeah. Okay. So in the accumulation of all those 30, your go-to, what's your favorite one?
Hypnotic. Hypnotic. Because I can say the way that song came about, Jay wasn't supposed to be a part of it. He thugged his way on that. Like, you know, Beans was the one who came up with the whole concept. We were supposed to do the Beans and Bleak album in Miami. We was bullshitting with bars, like I said. going to the club. So I come to the studio, Guru and Beans in the studio, dark. These niggas got incense playing, they're blasting, all type of shit. And I hear this song, and I'm like, what the hell is the Beans? Like, yo, I just caught this vibe, and I'm making this record. And I'm like, he like, yo, you should put a verse on. I'm like, all right. And then we get back home, we playing the joint for Jay in the office. He like, where my verse go? Yo, go extend that beat. And then the record came out. Nobody, and then we didn't know what album to put it on because nobody's album was coming out at that time. So that's how it ended up on my album. So I could say that's one of my favorite go-to records because it's the least expected record from all three of us. Like somewhere a lane none of us ever touched.
We gonna get a Jay-Z Bleak sit down on the podcast?
I want to, but not right now. Because Jay, like what people don't understand is no matter how old I get, Jay ain't gonna let me be the businessman sitting there. Like I could really conduct a conversation with him. Like, yo, so you know what we did? It's never like this would be the hardest interview to do, like because he's gonna diss me the whole interview.
Yeah, you gotta
it's like, do I want people to know he talked to me this way? Do he say certain things? Do he talk to each other? Like he might not even want people to know how I talk to him all the time. Like, you know, like even with the Ja Rule, Jay funny, because the Ja Rule interview come out, he hit me, yo, that wasn't me who said no. Nah, man, I don't know, man, you know, I don't think nobody said no. I think it was just two camps moving too fast. Like I told Ja blew up his astronomical. Before we talked about doing an album together, we were both nobodies. We were both features on the Jay-Z tour.
I was there. My first concert ever was the Hard Knock Life tour. That was 2000 in Charleston, South Carolina. He bought you and Ja just to freestyle.
Yeah. No, Beans and Ja.
Yeah.
And then I came out on this tour, right? That's what the single I had out at the time. But after that tour, it's like Ja was 4 million sold, everything he dropped. I seen him in the mall, 100 Crips, Bloods with him, like, oh, he ain't the same. Like, he my guy, he out there, man. So that's what I think it was. Two crews two superstars, man. No time. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like it was malice involved. It's just, we get to this money.
I'm glad that you got a podcast, though, because I feel like there's a core of Rockefeller, all that crew that gets talked about, but they don't ever respond. Like Jay gets talked about all the time. You get talked about all the time. Henry gets talked about all the time. And there's a whole gang of y'all old friends and stuff that's always talking about y'all, but we don't ever hear the other side.
It's too much to cover. It's too much. Like I go on Twitter. Rock Nation is blamed for everything. We the reason why people in jail. We the reason why people get guns. Like I don't know why did since when Rock Nation have all this influence. We could influence people in other countries to lock people up when they land. Like if we had that much power, they need to clear some of this red tape for me and my G's because I got dudes still on parole. Why I can't get them off then? If we can put you in, why I can't get somebody off?
No, Rock Nation has definitely become the evil empire.
Yo, it's crazy. I don't know why, but you know it's the thing in our community. When you make so much money, it gotta be some type of evilness to it. But my thing is, why didn't I get the evil spell or potion there? They just left me out the whip. They went and did the ritual. I just wasn't invited in.
No, that's true though. Like, did it ever bother you that it was like you had to answer?
Are you getting the runaround from workers' comp after your work injury? You're not alone. A lot of injured workers
thrown. Then it was like it's like that narrative got passed to Kanye, then Cole. It's like they skipped over Bleak and went straight to the next chapter.
I love it though, man. When it came down to Kanye West, man, even on Kanye documentary, I told him, yo, dog, you nice. You gonna be one of those guys. But as you can see, man, this fame, it's like the illest drug, man. It really is, man. Some people get this high and they can never come down. They're gonna chase it for the rest of their lives, and it's sad to see, man. But Kanye is a musical genius. The person he is today, I don't get into that. I leave that. That's him. He gonna have to find some healing. You know what I mean?
Are you somewhat, sometimes when you look at Kanye, what he's going through, happy that your career is where it's at, where you have a little bit more solitude and peace versus him?
I'm never happy to see one of my friends going through anything. You know, so it never makes me happy or compare myself to him. It's just, I don't want to see it. You know, I turn it off. I hear about it more than I see it because I can't watch my friends spiral out of control. You know what I mean? Like, it's just whack.
Another thing that they was going around, Dame started it. He said you don't write your own rhymes. He said Jay used to write for you. And I heard Beanie say that too.
I want to know why I never went triple platinum then. Why I ain't follow up them Jay sales? If Jay wrote these records, why the publisher checks come to me? I should have ASCAP send these people my record breakdown. They get to see that 475 records and all the splits. And now I understand, like on Tidal, it actually shows credit. If I wrote something for somebody, even if you my man, nah, dog, I need my PC. Jay wrote Coming to Age 1, Coming to Age 2. I had no input at all on those records. When I showed up, it was a piece of paper. Remember this? Do your thing. Like, okay, cool. You go through them records, you're not going to see my name. You go to any other record that Malik Cox is on, the real MC is involved. So I don't know where that narrative came from. Beans is the main one that got me like, man, you doing that much drugs? You don't remember being in the studio with me? Are you set? You bugging. Like, Dame was never in the studio with us, so he wouldn't have a clue. Beans, he was in the studio with us every single day. We spent about 20 years in baseline. And Jay wrote my rhymes, but you never saw it. Come on. I saw Ghost once too.
So when you say you wrote Coming to Age 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you ever want him to write for you?
Right now. Give me a verse right now. Put me back on, baby. Let's get lit. You kidding me, man? Like, when you want somebody to do something for you or ask for that, you're giving away. It's the same thing as giving away your money. Like, you're publishing. That's the only way we really made money. A lot of us rappers never recoup the budgets we spent on these albums, so your publishing is the only way you make money. And Jai taught me about publishing. So if Jay wrote my rhymes, like I said, I wouldn't be receiving no publishing checks. It don't make no sense. The rhymes he write, I get paid for? How?
Well, when things like this happen, right? Because like Charlamagne said, people.
Oh, just gotta go ahead.
I do real quick before. I know you gonna have Bangs on as a guest. I know y'all have crazy ass stories.
Hell yeah, I need to have Beans up there because we gotta get this settled. Then talk about the life we live. It's like.
Oh, you haven't even spoken since he said that.
No.
That's exactly where I was going. It all.
Okay. That was my question.
Good luck. Love you too. Good luck on the, you know what I mean? Make it happen on the audition.
And I guess that's the thing I love, man. Like, we always hear about these studio moments, but like, what's a non-music moment with anybody from Rockefeller that really just sticks with you through the years?
Man, you know what? One thing that always bugged me out, Busta Rhymes. I love Busta. Slip Stardom, my bros, I love them. But I remember one time, I think it was Jay called Busta to the studio to do a song with him. And Busta showed up to Baseline with Bulletproof Vest on. It blew my mind, like, Busta Rhymes. Yeah, like, Busta got beat. Like, it's somebody trying to kill Busta Rhymes. We gotta go get them, man. Y'all bugging. This is a New York staple. And that really had me like, I gotta find out what Busta into. What the hell he walk around with a vest for? And, just one of those moments I'll never forget. And, I ain't gonna put nobody on the bus. A lot of people married, so I ain't gonna say, I saw this guy with this girl. I
want to know. We want to know.
Did you ever feel like behind the scenes? Well, I'll say this. At any one point, did you feel like Jay was drifting too far from the crew? And if so, how do you even address it? He's not just, your big homie, but also like the boss.
I knew he had to. For Jay to be where he at, he couldn't be around us everywhere. We couldn't be. I'm a liability. Like, me now, being married, being a businessman, of course, things have changed, but reckless, bleak, you couldn't be around us. Anything could happen, and then it spills right back to you. So once Jay started doing these billionaire deals, basketball teams, moving teams from here to Brooklyn, you automatically knew the distance was warranted. It's not that he don't rock with you or don't rock with us. Hey, dog, I'm over here getting to these millions. Y'all still in the club popping bottles. I don't need that look.
How did you understand something like that though, but like a Beanie did it?
I try to tell these guys. That's the thing. If you really sit down, see, a lot of people when they get these cameras cut on, They got an image. They gotta, they gotta keep it up. I'm this guy. I can't let nobody. But if they really, really sit down and have a real conversation with the reality pills on the table, not the other drugs, the reality pills, they'll tell you, I told these guys this was coming. Because I used to get the word from Big Homie, yo, niggas don't ship up. They don't act right. We gonna do this. And I used to be telling these guys, yo, it's only a matter of time before it's over. We gotta get this right. And they used to look at me like, whatever. Like, I remember a time, right? Beans had his clothing line, Sneak Property. We used to get clothes, boxes, of Sneak Property. So I look in Sneak Property and said, manufactured by Rockaway. So I'm telling him as a brother, yo, bro, check your contracts and all that, make sure everything right. Like, because I see it's manufactured by Rockaway. I don't think Rockaway was making their own clothes. So how they making your clothes? Like, just as a businessman, this was like, didn't seem right. And this was at the time when he was saying, yo, I'm going to jail. I'm going to sign Freeway and the Young Guns, the Rockefeller. When I come home, they gonna give him back the state property. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, you think business work like this? So I'm trying to tell him these things like, he looked at me. This is when I knew me and Beans wasn't the relationship was the same. Because he was like, yo, it sound like you hating on me, fam. And I'm like, what you mean? He like, yo, if Jay your man, like you say, why you ain't got no record label? Why you ain't got no clothing line? Dang, my man, he taking care of me, all this. And I'm like, I feel you, but you know why I don't have those things? Because my bro would never exploit my ideas for him to make a bag. That's what you need to realize. They're taking your idea. And then when he came home from jail, what he said? They ain't owe me $2 million.
They only caught it twice in the win last week as he gets this.
Should have listened to Blizzard. But like I said, Jay not my...
Easier than ever to get heard and get paid on SoundCloud.
Man,
so what get to the bottom of the manufacturing? What ended up being behind that? What was
that was his business. I never got into it. It just was a red flag to me. Like, if I'm gonna do a deal with you and you're gonna make my clothes, I need to know who the manufacturer is. It's just like I did a deal with Drink Champs, right? I know Drink Champs. Y'all had a deal with somebody. Y'all started y'all network. I need to know who the plug is. Black effects. Like, I can't just be, we need to know what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't just rely on you when you relying on somebody else. I need to know all the moving parts. And as any businessman should. You want to know the moving parts. You don't just want to receive the checks. One day they're going to stop. Then you don't know how to pick them back up. It's insane.
I named it Black Effect because of your song, Black Effect.
Wow, that's
I reached out to him. The blessing. I call it Black Effect. And the logo was Henry's guy that designed it. I said, yo, I want something like the Paper Plane logo.
Henry's dope, man. Yo, God bless. Because when I found out, man, I've been hearing it forever. And when they said, yo, Charlamagne hold Black Effect, I'm like, but he is destroying the game. That's right, bro. That's all you can do, man, is pray and keep killing. That's it, man. They only get one shot at this thing. A lot of these guys think it's all about the glitz, man. You can keep the glamour and the glitz. Give me the check. Like I tell people, credit don't spend, money do. I don't want the credit.
How do you define success now? And is it different from 15-year-old me? How he would define it?
Yeah, 15-year-old me was the Porsche on the wall, Stedman house. You know what I'm saying? Rich girl like Oprah just let me be Stedman out here. that was me as a kid, you know? But me now, success to me is what I have. Love in the household, healthy family, your health. So you could be, you be thankful for the things you have and the things you don't. It's like, don't matter no more. Like, my goals now are to leave a legacy for my children. Like, before it was, I gotta go to the tunnel in the Bentley. Now it's not. I gotta make sure my daughter don't ever turn her head when the horn honk. When somebody honk the horn,
not even on instinct?
No, you better be watching traffic. That's it.
What was it that moment for you where that entered the world?
I think it was right before I got married, man, because it was at a time when, like he said, I don't know how it happened, but I became like the brunt of Rockefeller. Like, out of nowhere, I'm the wackest rapper on Rockefeller. Like, oh, word? So the 3 gold albums and 1 platinum didn't matter. Like, okay, I take it, I'm the wackest one. So it was like at a time when you feel like you just all alone, man, and it's like you have nothing. All you have is family. Like, money don't buy happiness. Money buy you things that make people envious more. So if you think about it, money is the root of all of it. But I feel like love is all you need, man. If you got the right people around you with no negative intentions, everybody just pulling the same strings, want to see everybody do good, that's success right there.
I don't think there was ever a conversation that Bleak is whack. It was just that Jay set the bar too high.
Yeah.
When he said just the new improved Jay-Z, everybody waiting for that. So you don't appreciate Bleak for what Bleak is.
But I'm better than Hov. He know that. He don't want battle. I tried to battle Sauce one time. I thought I was better than Sauce. Like, Sauce money don't want no smoke. It's my hood. I'm the new young sheriff in town. I seen them couple weeks in the projects and them coming through. Yo, Sauce, what up? It's battle. That's when he spit that line to me, man. Niggas think they Chinese the way they duck Sauce. That's it. I'm done. You got it. I don't want no more smoke.
What about I know you were signing artists at one point too.
Oh yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Artists.
Cash was the last one that you had, right?
Yeah, Cash. Shout out Cash. Free Cash, man. But I'm done. No, these artists don't listen. Like, all I could do is tell them. And I feel like me getting out the game and trying to be behind the scenes and tell an artist, they more looked at it as, man, I'm more lit than you. What you talking about? You don't know nothing. If you do all this, you would be lit. And it's like, fam, I'm not rapping because I chose not to. My last album went gold. Don't forget, they didn't exit me out the game off a 50,000 pack. I left with a gold record, which is cool. I'll take that. And I just felt like the artist just thought, man, you don't really know what's up. Man, let me holla at Jay. It's like, you're never gonna get that. He's never, so, and they want it too much too fast. Like, they don't understand it takes time. You have to work, and work more.
I watched an interview with Casanova where he talked about you actually took him to the office. I sit down, I think it was with Tata, and then tell him kind of relax and chill out in the studio.
That was here.
Oh, that was here, okay.
Yeah, that's when Cass, it came a time when Cass was, disgruntled employee. And he wanted direct access to the nation. And me, I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm never gonna hold nobody from their goals, their dreams, or whatever. If you believe the grass is greener over there, I'm gonna put you over there. But then when we get to that Rock Nation brunch, and you ain't got them tickets, you know why? You over there now, fam. They only got one in the pack. If you was over here, got that 4-pack.
It don't ever get on your nerves though that people kind of underestimate your contributions to like music, and you're so humble with it. But
it's what can I do? I can't argue against the masses. I'm one small voice, so it's like, how mad can I really? I could be mad internally, but no one cares. They don't care, man. Like, people love turmoil. They want to see you do bad, or see you angry, or see you upset. It's like, to see a smile on your face, it hurts the haters' heart. It hurts them bad. They don't want to see you smile.
You said something earlier that let me know you're really a real friend, though, because even if you and your homie ain't talking, you know that's your man.
Yeah.
You ain't got to talk to him for a couple of months or whatever, even a year, but you know that's your man. You see him over there doing, that's my guy. I know when we see each other, it's going to pick up right where it left off.
That's a fact. That's why I tell people, man, if you and somebody got a real, genuine relationship, not based off some type of business, intriguing, or whatever y'all doing, it's just genuine friendship. It can never die unless somebody break the bond. Like, I even say it in one of my songs, man. I say I'm a friend for life. Once you link with me, I'm a friend for life. Once you link with me, we tight. Until you break the bond, then it's long kiss goodnight. And that's true. I'm 100% that. I don't care. I got friends like my dog Rob Kelly in Dublin. I don't speak to him every day, but when I pop out in Ireland, he right there at the airport to get me. All my friends, any country I touch, man. Whether I'm in London with my guy Clue, Greece, Sniper, my guys is there, and he's been my friends for the last 20 years. You know what I mean? I'm often am I in London.
I was gonna ask, what's your relationship with Dame Dash?
It's cool. I spoke to Dame, like, we agreed upon, to keep things respectful, because I felt like things was going a little bit too far. Especially, you know what I mean, when the legal accusations was going around and people leaning on that, like, you really don't know people integrity. That's what rubbed me wrong. It's like,
from midfield, here's Mahomes. He's got his man in stride.
timeline, I realized that, I was sexualized. I think 5 years old. And I started to experiment with my friends, sexual guys. And
you was there with us, fam. You gonna act like you don't know the integrity we went outside with, man. Like people was playing that game. We don't play that kid game. And that rubbed me wrong. So I had to reach out to Dame, and it was a respectful conversation.
The wildest thing about that is when all of that shit went away, and everybody, first of all, you just knew it was bullshit from the beginning. When everybody realized it was bullshit, it was crickets.
Crickets.
Nobody said nothing.
No, they wanted. It's like people want Jay to be guilty of some bull, and it's like, yo, fam, we were who we were before we got here. Like, we didn't become who we are in this industry. So the things you see that a lot of these people took advantage of their stardom, their fame, that's not us. We've been lit. Like, I don't know why people think the rap game made Jay-Z who he is. He came in this game up. Trust me.
I did the passing of Clark kick.
That was real devastating, man. Like, Clark played a major role in my upbringing, my first album. Like, even putting together the record, we recorded Coming to AJ's basement at his house. Like, he made the beat on the spot, and we recorded it on the spot. So, just knowing the contribution he put into music, what he did into my life, the game, the goals, he always told me, I just cherish him, man. And it's just so sad to see him go that young over something that was preventable. Like, us as young black men, man, please go get tested. All physical, colon, all that, man. Do it. People say 45, do it at 35 if you can. It's never too early, but it can be too late.
I went and got mine at 44.
I went and got mine 40 and then did it again, like a year ago, and they told me I don't got to come back for another 7. I'm like, oh.
They told me, if you got a history of it in your family,
yes,
they say you to go early.
Yeah.
We both got birthdays coming up.
That's right.
You 623, right?
Yeah,
629.
Yeah, man, Cancer Gang in the building.
Oh, two way different personalities. You're so sweet and humble.
He is too. He cool.
He alright.
Yeah, he just got that.
He alright.
Yo, he know how to throw that whip out real quick. Hit you with that.
My friends are always my friends, and he is.
You ain't heard the beat running down on people's stories.
I watch Drink Champs. I've heard some of their stories.
That's what my friends say. They always be like, yo, you me and Bleak right now. You still ain't met Malik. Malik the businessman. That's when it's serious. Gloves off, no playing.
Talk about your relationship with Nori, because like for me, sitting and watching you on Drink Champs, when I saw the podcast, I was like, this makes so much sense, because when he's interviewing, it's just so good. You're so into it.
Nori gassed me up to do this. Just FYI, I did not want to do the podcast. Nori gassed me. I ain't gonna say beg me, because you don't beg nobody, but me and Nori relationship started. This started before I even knew him, man. When I bought what was his first album, Component Noriega, the War Report album. I knew right there, when I get my album, when I get my deal and my chance to make my album, I need this guy on my album, because he taught that life that I taught. So when I met him and we did the record,
what you niggas want to hate for?
Yeah, like, and I'm like, wait up, he really like me. And he from Left Rack, that's right there over the bridge. I be in Left Rack playing ball, the Kenny Anderson tournaments, like, that's my guy, man. From there, the relationship just grew. And when we did the Drink Champs interview, he called me again like, Bleak, I'm telling you, people rock with you, they fuck with you. He's like, you need to do something. And I'm like, yo, bro, I'm not a journalist. I care less what a person mind state was working on their project. I don't care. Like, I don't want to find that out. And he like, yo, you don't have to interview people. People want to know about what you thinking, your history, Rockefeller stories. He's like, you literally could just talk Rockefeller in it. And I'm like, all right, let's see. So after I did the first couple of interviews, like, I got Guru, Just Blaze, Freeway, Young Chris. I had a couple heavy hitters, Lenny S. And after I got a few and started realizing where it was going, I'm like, this is needed. People did need to hear. They need to hear this, man. Because I think a lot of these young guys, they think it's one way. If you're not a killer, you can't be a rapper. Like, they really got to kill on YouTube and drop the video that next minute, and they go platinum. And it's like, yo, fam, where's the cool people? Where's the regular guys? That's what we represented. Nobody at Rockefeller was the ultimate killer. We just was hustlers. We got money. And I feel like that has died. That image died in music. So to bring that back through the podcast, I think people listen more than watch.
That's why I think y'all need a platform, man, because I say it all the time. The Rock Nation, that core of people, they're the most known people I've ever met in this business in my life. Like, you know the weirdos, and they're the most normal people.
Nah, that's a fact, man. Like, it's no. If you was a weirdo on Rockefeller, we got you out of there early. The strainer was out early, and we shook the loose ends out of there. So when it come down to the Emerys, man, like, Emery is the OG. I tell him he's the definition of an OG to me. Like, people talking about an original gangster, not just an old guy. Original gangster. His picture be because that's what he is. He's the epitome of that. Just if you know his story, his history, how he laid down on the sword for the team, and then you come home to reap the benefits of it. It's like, I don't think no man walking right now would ever try to even repeat that. I don't think we'll ever see it done again.
Nah, it is vision. Like, I remember being in the office with B-High when Emery had just came home, and he literally had folded up a piece of.
It's easier than ever to get heard and get paid on SoundCloud. Simply upload your track, and with just a few
stationary, and he was throwing it around, paper plane. He was like, "That's gonna be the next shit." Yeah. Like, I remember that. So it's like, you see somebody have a vision like that and see what it's become now. It's like, come on, man.
And Emery always been the super flyest dude I know, coming from, you know what I mean, Baltimore, DMV. I respect Emery. I would love to have him on the podcast, like a person like Tata. But I know Tata never could.
I thought Emery was a given, though.
I gotta kidnap Tata to get him on the podcast.
But don't you feel like they gotta tell us?
Yeah, I feel like it's a given. It has to happen with you.
I would hope they would want to tell it with me, but knowing Tata, no, they can't talk to me. They not gonna do. Tata cannot. Him, Jay, Emery might, because I feel like Emery and Warren. They give me that, alright, Bleeker OG, he one of us. Tata and Jay is like, nope, you still a little dirty kid from Boston. Y'all can't get out of here. Y'all win nothing.
But I think even seeing that would be good for people too, because we don't get to, like, I'm sitting here listening to y'all talk right now, and I'm like, man, I can't imagine just like being around during all these people are so great to us, but they're normal people to y'all. People might need to see the personality a bit.
They definitely do, man. Like, Tata is funny, man. Like, he run from the camera, so that's how I know. If I did an interview with Tata, it'd have to be over the phone, like he locked up. We gotta act like he phoning in, but he not gonna get on. I know him, man. It's been years. He's not gonna.
That's what makes y'all so solid, though, because nobody wanted to be anybody. Hov is that guy. You know how hard that is for a bunch of men, especially, to get behind one guy and say, "That's the guy. He's gonna help change all our lives."
Because you knew it, man. Like, you knew it. Yo, you knew it. See, from back then, you knew. You could see the ray of light in the clouds with Jay Walk. Like, I tell people, I was there from the beginning. I can tell you the cars they drove, the clothes they wore, the malls they shopped in, the kind of women, the liquor they drunk, the food they ate. And your results won't be the same. I could put you on the same path, tell you everything they did. I remember us sitting in the house making gift baskets to send the Power and Hot, just to get the DJs to play his record.
Power wasn't even around back then.
No, it was really hot, but sending gift baskets with Crystal and all these different trinkets in there just to get DJs to play J record. Like, I remember us grinding, and then when it clicked, it was like, it's over. So I'm never gonna stop.
Angie was the first person to play it, I think.
Yep, Angie was the first person to show love. That's why Angie's down with the team to this day. Angie, I feel like back then it was Miss Jones. Wendy was really popping. Like, Flex always been there. Enough. Man, radio station, that's when it was impactful then, man. Like, now today, like, I heard the homies right before me talking about artists, they lost love for the radio. They just believe in streaming. Me, I love radio. I feel like this is the way to reach the masses. Like, on the internet, you have to really sit there, click it, watch an ad, watch this. It's like, nah, I'd rather just get it one time and I'm done.
That's why I love watching Lauren and Justin. You know, they 33, right? 33 years old. They came up in the internet era. But now they on the radio every day. They see it.
Oh my God. It's so crazy. I'm like, I never want to hear somebody say the radio don't matter. Like this, I've been on television in different markets, big markets. This changed my life, like honestly, like radio. And I can't believe it when I say it, but yes. And people get to know you personally.
Yes.
A lot differently than it is when you just post something on Instagram or whatever the case may be. But
you can edit that. This is straight like it is.
Yes.
There's no filter, no editing, no nothing. Like this is what it is. And like it's as a fan, I listen to y'all every morning. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing else to listen to. I wake up, even my daughter, she's like, "Who done get a day today, Daddy?" I'm like, I don't know. We gonna find out though.
I was gonna say, when I was watching the first episode with you and Ja Rule, y'all talking about the Hard Knock Life tour. It seemed like there was like college for him and for a lot of y'all. Like the learning lessons. What was the biggest lesson you took away from the tour?
I need to share something that most homeowners are completely in the dark.
The biggest lesson I took, being a good performer. Because DMX used to go out there and destroy. Then you had Redman and Method Man. Remember, they used to do How High and fly through the crowd, and everybody on that show held their own. Remember, I was the newcomer. It was like, damn, when I get my shot, this is how it's going to be. So that right there, and then I remember Jay, they didn't let me smoke before the show. It was like every day before the show, like 2 hours, be high. He would come take all my weed and my Dutches and everything, like you can't smoke to after the show. Just to be a professional, like just to be ready and on time, like. And that tour told me if you ain't 15 minutes early, you're 15 minutes late.
Wow. What's one Rockefeller artist you think never reached their full?
Signed or unsigned? I gotta get my guy Haas the Ripper them flowers. A lot of people probably don't even know who Haas the Ripper is. He's from New Jersey. I'm telling you, him and Beanie Siegel are the only 2 people I ever seen touch the stage with no beat and spit a verse that no one ever heard and have the crowd go crazy. Now, I mean, Haas the Ripper was shutting venues down, opening up for Jay.
He was on?
Yes, he was down with us, but it never manufactured into an album or a single or anything. And now he changed his life. Like, you know, he's a big preacher. He got the church out here in Jersey and all that. And I was telling my homie, I got to bring him on the show, man, because I want to know his story and I want people to appreciate and know what his contribution was to Rockefeller, because without him, I probably wouldn't be the artist I am, because I remember being so jealous. Jay brought him out on the tour with Biggie and he shut it down, spinning. And I'm like, I don't like this guy. That's supposed to be me up there. And it's like, but then I knew I wouldn't be able to do that. Look what he's doing. You kidding me? No way.
He was the opening artist on the Reasonable Doctor. Why don't people talk about him?
Yeah, Haas the Ripper, man. I'm telling you, he was ill. You can look him up. He got YouTube videos where he's shutting concerts. He did the Tunnel with us one time. He did a couple venues with us, and his pen game to me back then was like, that's the nicest kid I ever seen.
But what about somebody we know?
Who did Petey Crack?
Oh yeah, I see that.
I'm from Delaware, so a lot of Petey Crack.
Yeah, Petey Crack. I feel like Petey had a lot of gems. He just was in his own way. You know what I mean? A lot of our artists that happened too. Like, I feel like at Rockefeller, when you came in, whether you had a record or not, you got a chain. You was in baseline every day. We all traveling the world. We on tour buses. We flying. So a lot of these guys felt successful before actually being successful. So they forgot to put the work in.
I felt like with Petey Crack or Skino, like it was like hot so fast and then it just stopped.
Because that's what I'm saying. They was out there running around with the thotty bodies. They forgot about the work, the body of work. Like, you got to go to the studio. Like, I think Chris said something on one of these interviews where he said they had an opportunity to go to the studio after a show, but they wanted to go party with Rihanna. So they didn't go to the studio with Jay. Jay was mad.
Yeah, I heard that.
That was young Chris. I don't know who he was talking to, but I can see that happening, because it's been times with Jay like, yo, hey, they do this and whatever, and nobody show up. We be sitting there like, what happened?
That was me. Yeah.
See?
That was your fault. I remember hearing that
conversation.
Do you feel like too at that point, because it was like, now it's like once you get to like Chris and Neef and Oskino and Petey Crack, there's so many different people involved versus when you're there, right? Jay-Z's like right there with you, like, no, put the blunt down, no.
I was only at the show.
Okay.
He was never there in the studio. That's why I don't understand where the narrative came from that Jay wrote for me. That's why I can't wait till the Guru interview drop. Then he has the interview. Because then they gonna really hear the stories on the work and how hard it was for us to even get them to acknowledge us. Because when Beans got his deal at Rockefeller, man, I was the first artist. Everything was Memphis Bleak. When Beans came, it was ice cold for me. Everything was Beans. Even in my eyes, like they put us in the studio to even like try to test to see who we gonna rap with. And that's when we did True Love. You hear Beans rhyme on there. I knew, like, this guy's for not. What I'm gonna do, I gotta step it up. So while the parade was running that way, Lenny was the only one who locked in with me. And we were man coming on a huge album. We did the whole album by itself. Nobody even heard it. That's why if you listen to what you think of that, Jay's verse don't even go with the song. Because he wasn't there with us. He was like, yo, what song am I gonna rhyme on? And I'm like, put a verse on this one. And he just put whatever he wanted on that particular song. That's why he didn't even get in the video with it.
So he didn't rap on the song? It was like a verse that already had sitting around?
Yeah, he spit it on What You Think of That. Yeah. But yeah, Jay wasn't like, we did that whole album by ourselves. Like, no input, no nothing. Now on the second album, I can see why you might think that because I got an alley-oop with a record.
Is that your shit?
Yeah, like that was on his London record, but it's still like, yo, bro, I got a hook, I got a beat, write a verse, we gonna shoot a video. Cool, that's not you writing for me, you just gave me an idea. You know what I'm saying?
Amy Siegel said that it was because it was a three. How you just said it was a three y'all.
Yeah.
That basically Jay-Z had to cheat for you because it was a three y'all. That's where the writing came from.
He just don't want to admit I smoked him. That's it. That he must have felt I had the best verse, and he like, man, only way that could happen, Jay had to give him some bars. So I don't know if we all in the studio writing, how fast is Jay writing that you didn't see him write for me? Like, it's impossible.
You don't even write.
Exactly. You didn't see him tell me, yo, some bars. You ain't never hear a reference track. Like, where's the reference tracks? Like, go leak those.
Now, there's a lot of history, man. I would like to see you talk to Jim Jones, you and Cam.
Yo, Cam ain't gonna come. Cam too lit now. The podcast, you know they lit. Him and May stay up there suited and booted, baby, get into that shit gone. So, I don't think Cam will sit down.
Maybe you go to Is What It Is to promote Rock Style.
Yeah, I go up there. I'll definitely pull up on Cam. We had a relationship. That's why I want my podcast to showcase that I have a lot of relationships with a lot of people in this business that people don't know. Like, the world didn't know Sean Price was related to me. People don't know Steele from Smith & Wesson is my cousin. Like, you don't know I grew up in the duck down household. Like, I could have been ducked down. You know what I mean? Before Rockefeller. Like, people don't know I went to Staten Island, no Shaheem and Ghost and all of them from Stapleton. Before the rap game, like, Joel Ortiz from Cooper was in the rap group with my artist Living Proof as a kid. I knew him since he was probably like 10. Like, a lot of people don't know these things, so I feel like my podcast is going to showcase.
Yeah, you couldn't be on Duck Down. You grimy, but not Duck Down. I love Duck Down.
I tried. Back in the day, they was like, nah, you gotta come up. And ironically, I made a song called Coming Aid.
A connection means...
Oh, no.
Okay, that might be too connected.
I texted you guys. I got first.
That's why if there's a network interruption, we'll proactively make your...
Yeah. Listen, Bleak, man, you don't wake up sometimes and be like, yeah, we changed the world, man.
Nah, man. I wake up sometimes and hope I did enough. I say that I hope I made my mark, I did my thing, that I ain't disappoint my friends, my family, or my fans, or people that, you know, rock with me. And sometimes I wake up and don't feel I did enough. Like, that's why, I feel like my partner, Cheech, he made it make sense to me. Like, I stopped rapping. I didn't care. Like I said, I left with a gold album, so rap, I didn't care. Like, I didn't feel like I left anything on the table. And when me and him started working with the Warehouse Movement and doing everything we doing with the Mind Right and all of that, he like, yo, bro, I was a real fan. And you left me hanging. You didn't give me no closure. You just left when I did left. Like, how What you think the people who really rock and was rooting for you feel? You didn't give us no explanation, no exit, no nothing. And I'm like, damn, he right. And those guys are like me. We're grown now. I'm pretty sure it's hard for them to find a playlist or something to really get into. Because me, I find myself listening to Sade now. Ain't really too much I could get into that's talking about what I live. So that's what made me make this album, and trust me, it's for us, man. I don't have one gun on me on this project. Because I don't live that life. It's literally for us. And I told them if I'm going to make music, I want to give these guys some type of game, some type of hope. Because as a teenager today, to look at a guy 50 years old still doing the same thing you're doing today, what hope does that give? Right? You got to see somebody that you be like, yo, okay, it is light at the end of the tunnel. A person who came up like me. And that's what I want to be.
When I'll drop
June 20th, 6:20. We outside with it again. Called Apartment 3D. Just the closure from 534. That's the address. 534 Apartment 3D.
And the Rock Solid Podcast is available everywhere you listen to podcasts on the Drink Champs Black Effect, iHeartRadio Podcast Network. Bleak, always a pleasure, man.
Always, man.
Glad to see you in this space. Glad to hear these stories being told.
My brother, appreciate you. Laura, nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too.
Wake that ass up. In the morning. Oh my God, yo.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Hook up of 15 yards there, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit him over the top.
But he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Breaks through the contact. Touchdown! Pat Freiermuth. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead now up to 14. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big pickup of 38.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
And they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. The second down throw now from Stroud. Swings this one out wide for Pierce. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down. Now a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Staying on his feet.
That's unbelievable.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Stroud looking to throw.
Come on, that should have been you, bro.
Is incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
2nd and 10. Throwing now is Stroud. This is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Stephon Diggs, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Texans have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Justin Jefferson and the rest of this offense, they've got their helmets back on, and they're ready for this next series. A chance here on this drive to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark.
Throw him the ball. Throw him the ball. Forget analysis, all right? Let's just...
And Henry's hit. He lost the football. But it looks like the Chiefs are going to get it back.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trip to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
That is caught. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards to play.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Here's Mahomes to throw. Steps away to his left. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Barton, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Shotgun snap to Mahomes.
Damn, bro!
Get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Darren Stingley picks it, and the Texans are right back in this football game. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach right on his play sheet.
And he loses the football the second time.
Oh, my God.
I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Stroud. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
So many times we've seen him trying to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Will Anderson able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company. Back to throw here. Flushed out right. He's gonna get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this will probably get away from them.
18 yards the game for number 18.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They'll try for the first with Pacheco. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So a big one coming now for Harrison Butker. This to perhaps salt this one away. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
So Stroud and the Texans down by 10. 1:51 on the clock. And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Stroud to throw it. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Here we go, 1st and goal. And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And the Chiefs have got it. Mixon hit, and the ball is out. And the Texans scoop it.
I ain't never seen no shit like this in my life, bro.
And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball. Which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
Here now, 2nd and goal. Here's Stroud.
Oh, my God!
That's going to wind up incomplete. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost him.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. And if he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves him out there with another chance.
For the lead, here's 3rd and goal. Stroud.
Pow!
It's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Chiefs have just about sewn up this football game.
What a stand there defensively. They force the 3rd and goal, force them into what they think will be a passing situation, and then they make sure to lock up all the receivers and come away with the interception. Sounds simple, but that was really well done.
Now this Chiefs offense gets set to go again. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On third down, it's Pacheco. And he will have a Chiefs first down. And that's the one that should seal the victory. It's a gain of 3 there, and that should be just about all she wrote. Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
Yeah, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So for Kansas City, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Mile High to take on the Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Houston, good night, everybody.
We ain't getting no rushing touchdowns. Win the Super Bowl this year.